Gentlemen, there's no need for ladies in this video. Okay, hello everyone. Welcome to another jholtStarcraft super special. This is going to be another video in the quick tips series. So I don't know how long I'm going to keep doing this until I run out of ideas or motivation to keep doing the videos. But no, I should keep pumping them out. So I'm going to try and keep this short. The last one did overrun a little bit, a bit more than 5 minutes, which was the initial plan. Doing pretty good, keeping it under 10. So in this matchup, we're going to be talking about hotkeys. So building hotkeys and also unit hotkeys in battle, and also how it helps improve your macro. So we're going to go into a game now, which I will quickly point out as all the games have been so far. It is a complete setup, but that's okay because I want it to be a good demonstration. I want it to be how it would be in real life, apart from the fact that I've spread my units out separately like that. Okay, so picture the scene. You're at the start of the game. You need to hotkey your command center. I personally recommend doing one of the two things. A lot of people use 4, a lot of people use 5. And then it is pretty much similar for the rest of them from that. So if you're using 5, it will leave buttons 1 to 4 to use for units, which I think is important. I mean, a lot of people put their command center as 4 and then have 1 to 3 as units, but I've found having an extra control group for units does come in handy, especially if you're spellcasters and you're doing, multiple drops, things like that. So I use my command center as 5, and then straight away there's something you need to do. A lot of people seem to hotkey separate command centers to separate keys, which just uses up the keys. It makes it a bit awkward. You have a DT in your base, you need to scan. Shit, 2, no energy. 7, no energy. 5, scan. But if you have all your command centers, like I've got 3 on here, I can just press 5, and then I can just go, mule, or scan, mule, and then I can also press 5, and then SCV, which helps a lot. And also, you can set your rally point to your nearest new base. So if your main's mined out, and your natural's nearly mined out, you can send all your workers to mine here. So, straight after your command center, you want to go barracks on the next key. So if you're using 4, barracks on 5. If you're using 4 for command center, if you're using 5 for command center, barracks on 6. Yes, this totally makes sense. So, again, all of them in one control group. You can build from all of them that way. So, barracks on the key next to command center, very simple, very easy. Another thing to note with barracks control groups, some will have tech labs, some won't. If you select marauders, obviously it's not going to go, no, I can't build a marauder from this barracks, it doesn't have a tech lab. It'll automatically build it from the tech lab barracks, which is quite handy. And the same with marines, it will prioritise reactor barracks first, I think. So, all your barracks on the 6 key. Factory I like to do on 7, and starport on 8. Don't queue up. I'm a bad person. I promise I don't normally queue up. I promise. Look at that. That's pretty good. Pretty good. Otherwise, oh dear, bad macro. But I'm maxed out. It's all right. I'm maxed out, guys. That explains everything. Okay, so unit producing structures on these keys is very important. So if you're in the heat of battle, you're at this base, you're killing them probes. You can quickly go, okay, 5, some more SCVs, 6, build some marines and marauders, 7, give me a tank, 8, I want some dropships. All good. And look at that. Inferior hotkey in there by our Protoss player, Col, who doesn't normally play Protoss, which explains his bad hotkeys. So yeah, hotkeying is so important. It's so easy to improve your macro if you use them effectively and efficiently. So having them all on one key is very important. And something that I noticed a big increase in my play when I did this, actually adding my upgrade buildings onto 9. So if I can click on 9 here, I have 2 engineering base, and I have my Ghost Academy as well, and my armory, which is here. So what you can do with that, I found, because I'm not a Masters, Grandmasters, or Pro player, contrary to what I think some of you might believe, I generally am floating not a lot of minerals. I do usually keep it under 1,000, but maybe a few hundred more than I should be, and I can definitely spare. So by having these upgraded buildings, these upgrade buildings hotkeyed, when you're going through your cycle of 5, 6, 7, 8, building your units, you can then go to 9 and build upgrades, because a lot of low league players forget upgrades. You know, they get 20 minutes into the game and they don't even have 1-1. So like hotkeying those buildings as soon as you build them is so important. So I can get an SCV, I'm going to go build engineering bay, and as soon as, even as like the foundations of the buildings are down, hotkey it as 9 or whatever you see fit. And then the same when if you get another one, if you get an armory, shift and then press that key to add it to the group, which is something I didn't mention earlier. So yeah, if you've got one barracks as 6 and you want to add another one to it, it's click on that new barracks and then 6, or just double click on all your barracks and then, you know, shift 6 will add them all to the control group of 6. So that way, you know, if you're in battle, you can then now do upgrades. So if you're pushing in, do wait for the upgrade to finish, guys, but then build more upgrades. And if you've got different buildings in a control group, so it shouldn't matter with the barracks on 6, factory on 7 and starport on 8, but with the upgrades on 9, obviously you have engineering bays in there. I've got the Ghost Cannon, which isn't always needed, and I have the armory as well. You can actually press tab, so you select the control group, so you press 9, and then you can tab, and that tabs through the buildings, you can see here. So I'm going to go, right, I need to build something from my engineering bay, I'm going to click that, I'm going to tab through, I want a nuke, boom, vehicle weapons level 1, let's do it. And you can click on it that way. So tab is an important one to use for upgrades, and that way you don't have to go back to your base and click on the buildings. Playing Starcraft 2, you see that, guys? That's dedication, that's what we want. Another thing you can do early game is add the tech lab to a key as well. So that way you can see, you know, when your stim finishes, so you can push in perfectly. And also if you're waiting for a +1 to finish, you can check on that as well whilst you're in battle. So, right, that covers units, that covers buildings, and now onto units. So what I've done here is against this Protoss, it's got, you know, a typical mix of the Terran units, and I've set them up. I mean, obviously you don't have to hotkey them like this, but this is what I like to do. So I've got Marine Marauders. Let's pretend this ghost isn't in there. I've got Marine Marauders hotkeyed as 1, all in there, all good. So you want theirs on the 1. It's closest to your finger, easiest to press. Lots of good stuff, because you're selecting that group a lot. You'll be microing, kiting, backwards and forwards, all good. Tanks on 2 I like to do. Obviously this is tanks and some destructible debris on 2. Now I've got my tanks on control group 2. You need those as a separate control group so you can siege them up. It's awful if you've got tanks and marines in the same control group, because you go to stim and then you end up sieging a tank, or you go to siege up a tank and all your marines have lost 10 health. Not good. So you want all kind of units with abilities on separate control groups. That's why I've got my ghosts again separately on 3, which I think is really, really, really important. I think the Medivacs is something that is up to debate, up to mass debate actually. So a lot of people I know do actually add their Medivacs into control group 1, so they're always hovering above the Marines and Marauders, which I do most of the time. And in this situation, I've tried to have them as 4, and I think when I engage, I do forget about them. But we're just going to roll with that. But what you can do, a good tactic as Terran, you know, you've got your 1, 2, and 3. And then you can just have a dropship as 4. So if you have all the rest of these joined up with your Marines as 1, and then you just have an individual dropship loaded with Marines as 4. So let's say I move my dropship around the back here, drop the base, I then draw the Protoss army back here to defend it, and then I can go 1, 2, 3, and then attack move into the Protoss base. Lovely. So that's a good tip to do there. I like putting drops on 4, which is why I like having that additional key, which is why my my unit producing structure, my building hotkeys start on 5, not on 4. So I'm going to start the game now. It has been a while. I've been talking a bit too much. So I'm going to be manually selecting these groups and moving them in individually, and I am going to forget about the Medivacs, but let's forget about that. So we're against I want to say standard Protoss force. I don't know how many Protoss get. Let's just go through the army first. I don't know how many Protoss get carries using 1v1s, but I got Zealots, Sentries, Anti-Templar. As you can see, he's not got any of these. He's got all his Zealots hotkeyed as 1. That's all good. So this isn't a perfect engagement, I'm going to say that now, but it does show how using your hotkeys does help. So, the Zealots are going to move in, they do have charge. I see that. Okay, tanks, siege up, run away, siege up straight away. And I'm going to move my Ghosts and EMP everything. All of the sentries have got no energy, all of these Hound Temple have got no energy. I can then stim these individually, my tanks have gone down, I can then pull my Medivacs in, and it's an easy cleanup. You know, granted, I think I probably did have a fairly substantial army value more than him. Yeah, so I probably would have won anyway, but let's just pretend it was fairly even. But that I am talking about showing how hotkeys can be used. So as soon as you see the units, you can press 2, siege your tanks. You can move your Ghost forward, which is at a slower speed now. And I've pressed B. Okay, let's go. Let's go, let's go, let's go. Okay, here's the engage. So I'm going to move forward. I should have probably sieged my tanks straight away. But I'm going to try and run them back. But these charge zealots are a great counter to the tanks. So I've selected my Ghost now. EMP, EMP, EMP. Taking off so much. So no storms, which would do a lot of damage. And now I can stim by pressing 1. And there we go. So I've lost all my tanks, lost all my goats. I've lost all my tanks and lost all my goats. But it leaves all my marines and marauders to clean up. So there we go. Done. And that's it. That's just a basic, probably a bit long-winded introduction to hotkeys. But I've covered most of the points now. And definitely hotkey units separately. Spellcasters need to be on separate keys. Especially for Col here in this situation. If he had his sentries hotkeyed separately, he could have got some killer force fields splitting my units in half. Hiccup. He also could have got those storms off straight away as well. But definitely spellcasters on different key is key. So that's it for this this video. The next one, I can't remember. The next one is a surprise, so you'll just have to keep looking back on my channel. If you subscribe, it will tell you. Hint, hint. So I hope this has been helpful to you guys. You've learned something. It is short. You can watch it whilst you're eating your cereal in the morning. So that's it for now. I will see you guys soon. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.